Speaking of, as Nashville Predators fans, this week was a big week. I don't even remember. Seth Jones, I think, the last time the Preds had a top 10 draft pick. And here we are this year. We finished the season slotted to pick third.
Yes.
But the draft lottery was on Monday night. And long story short, the Nashville Predators fell to the fifth pick, which was as low as we could have fallen. Because what they do is they have a lottery for the top two picks. So the only way we were going to fall to fifth was if two teams that finished ahead of us in the standings, so did better than us, won the lottery. And that's exactly what happened. Who won the lottery?
The first one went to the Islanders.
The New York Islanders, who were for a while in the wild card race. They've got the first overall pick.
They had a 3.5% chance of getting the first pick. And
incredible odds. Yeah, 3.5% chance. They got it. Obviously their fans were super excited. There was a little bit of controversy surrounding the pick because I didn't know this, but apparently the Islanders president had just written Gary Bettman a letter telling him he was upset because the NHL, I guess, had moved. There was going to be, I don't remember if it was an all-star game or something in New York, and they decided not to do it next year. But there wouldn't have been an all-star game next year anyway, so maybe it was a future one. Because something about their arena, and so people were saying that maybe it was rigged, and he gave it to the Islanders because they were mad at him, and he wanted to be like, okay, here, you guys can have the first pick. Which I don't believe. I don't get behind the controversy stuff. They did this lottery live, which was the first time they've ever done that. And I think they did it partially to stop people from saying it's rigged. Because every year, there was one year particularly where it was really weird. They were just reading off the cards who won the picks. They did the picks behind the scenes and then came out to read the cards. And when they lifted up one of the cards to read who got the first pick, there was a different team on it at first, and they went like, oh, and then picked up the other one, and people were like, wait, what just happened? Did they just change who got the first pick? But I don't think they did. I think they just had the cards out of order.
They're like, I just picked up the third.
Yeah, there was just like a mistake or something, I don't think they actually would rig it, but you never know. There's lots of people that enjoy that kind of controversy. So Islanders get first pick. Second pick
was the Utah Hockey Club. Now it's called the Utah Mammoth.
We found out this week also the Utah Hockey Club is officially named the Utah Mammoth. So new logo and name for that team.
But Utah was in. Well, they didn't do bad enough in the season to get the second actual pick. The best they could get was the fourth pick, I think. So that's what they got.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So the way they have it set up is you can only move up so many spots.
I think it's like 10.
Yeah, and so maybe they finished 14th or 14th
I think I saw
up
they
from
finished
the bottom.
14th
So
and they got 4.
yeah, and they got to move up to spot number 4, which when the Islanders won the first overall pick, the Preds were slotted to pick third before the Islanders got the first pick, right? So then when they got the first, that bumps Sharks down to second, Blackhawks down to third, Preds down to fourth. But then Utah bumps us from the fourth pick, and that bumps us down to the fifth pick. So Preds now have the fifth overall pick. It'll go Islanders, Sharks, Blackhawks, Utah, Mammoth, and Preds.
I can't believe that we finished behind the Mammoth and the Islanders.
And they get to pick ahead of us. But, good thing. People aren't really sure who the number one overall is. And since you don't have the number one pick this year, I think that's a good thing if you're a fan because it's less certain that you didn't get the best guy. We could easily, I think, end up getting the best guy at number 5 because nobody really knows who the best guy is, which is cool. The guy I said last week that I want the Preds to pick is James Higgins. I'm still holding to that. Not many. What are the pre-drafts called when people like guess the drafts? Mock drafts. Yeah, not many mock drafts have the Preds landing James Higgins, but a couple of them do. One thing that makes me a little less sure is he's from Long Island. So if the Islanders end up liking him, it's always cool when you draft a guy from your area. So I could see Higgins going to New York just from that, but I'm still kind of hoping we get the American James Higgins.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a lot of good picks up in those top 5 or top 5 to 10. Who are some of the ones that stand out to you besides Higgins?
Schaefer.
Matthew Schaefer's a defenseman.
He's a defenseman.
Which some people are like, no, Nashville can't pick a defenseman. We always pick a defenseman. They got to do something else. Because we famously have drafted really good defensemen over the years. Shea Weber, Roman Josi, Ryan Suter. Like, we have a really good system for developing our defensemen, drafting and then developing. Yeah, Roman Josi, right? But you have to remember, like, Josi isn't young anymore. I mean, he's young, but not for a hockey player, right? He's doesn't have that many years left. So if he's who's available and he's the clear best pick him. Take the best pick. I think definitely we take whatever player we think is the best one available. Because there's no guarantee that whoever we draft is going to be ready to fix the issues that the Preds have right now anyway.
I mean, I'll still be happy if he's still available when it comes down to our pick.
Yeah, Matthew Schaefer for sure. That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
So, I mean, I'd be pumped. So, Schaefer's good. Hagen's good.
Michael Misa.
That's a winger, right?
Yes.
Hagen's is a center. I think I'd rather get a center, but winger, if that's the best player available, take him. Same for Forsberg. Forsberg's not super young either.
For most of the things I've seen, most mock drafts have Misa going second, which is the Sharks.
Okay.
Let's see. There's also Porter Martoni, who also a winger, I think.
Yep. That's right.
He's projected to go 4th based off of mock drafts.
So that might be Utah.
That might be Utah. But the Preds, I don't know who we might get, because there's definitely some options out here.
Yeah. No, like, we definitely have options.
Caleb Desnoyers or something?
Yeah. He's high on the list. Who's the guy with the injured back we were talking about? Roger McQueen. He's high up on the list.
Roger McQueen, he's like big. He's like 6'5", and he's a really fast skater. He can skate good.
Nice. One of those skillful big players.
But
maybe like a Tage Thompson type. Yeah, that's cool. So it's going to be fun to watch. That's coming up. When is the draft?
I don't remember.
It's after the after the finals, right?
So maybe
sometime in June.
Yeah, late June somewhere.
Late June. So that's going to be fun to keep an eye on. And remember, the Preds have 3 first-round picks. I could definitely see us like making a trade, either a hockey trade where we trade one of those picks and try to get a player that we think will help our team. Barry Trotz, our general manager, did say in his meeting this week, which was also on Monday, that he's looking every day at what hockey trades are available. He said he wants pieces, I think, more along the lines of like Michael Bunting. Like tough, gritty players he wants to add. He feels like we added skill last year with Stammer and Marchessault and stuff, and wants to add a few more players like that, like Bunting. He's just kind of a grittier sandpaper type player. So that'll be interesting to see. I could see us trading one of our 3 first-round picks. Know what also I thought of?
What?
If one of those teams above us in the top 4, like Utah or something like that, I could see us trading our pick plus one of our other first-rounders to them so that we can move up. If there's a player we really want in that top 5, that the other teams are like, we don't really care which one we get. I could see us swapping picks with one of the teams above us too.
Maybe
So
if we trade with the Blackhawks, we'll have the projected slot for James Higgins unless he goes first or second.
Yeah, exactly. We could trade with the Blackhawks. We could trade with the Islanders and get the first overall pick. That'd be crazy.
That's crazy.
Because what if you're the GM of the Islanders and you're like, man, we didn't think we were getting the first overall pick. We don't really care which one of these top players we get. If we can get them at number 5 and one more by swapping with the Preds, give the Preds the number 1 overall pick, that'd be awesome. Then we can take who we want. Because I'm sure our scouts have been watching these guys super closely, knowing we were going to have one of the top picks. I bet we have more of an idea of which one we want. So, interesting. It's going to be tough decision time for sure for the Preds.